Hi everyone, welcome to Crafty Relish and thank you so much for visiting my channel. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So, I haven't posted a video recently, at least not as recently as I wanted to, because I've been having a lot of challenges with the different projects I've been working on in my Alisha Dollhouse, from the fireplace to the floor for the kitchen. First of the fireplaces, I was going to do faux stone on the top part of the fireplace. Where is it? Let me see if I can find her. Here she goes. So I was first going to do the faux egg carton stone on this part of the fireplace. And I decided I didn't like that for this particular fireplace. So I ripped all that off. And then you'll see in my videos that I finished with the regular stone and grouting on that. Then when I was working on the egg carton tiles for the kitchen, I got the whole thing done. I was pretty happy. I will be inserting some pictures here and there to show you. And when I decided to grout it, I used the same grout I used for the foundation of the Alisha. And it's like gritty, and it completely ruined my egg carton tiles after they were painted and sealed, and well, it just destroyed them. But I was kind of hesitant about putting those tiles in the kitchen as the flooring once I was working on it, even though I liked the way it looked. I just decided I didn't like it for this project. So I'm going to show you that too. Instead of scrapping all these videos where I did the work and then scrapped the work, I decided, well, let's just look at the good, bad, and the ugly, and you can see what it all looks like and what's entailed in my process of working on a dollhouse and figuring out what I want to do. Sometimes I have the whole project planned and I know exactly where it's going to, what it's going to be, what's the design going to be, what flooring and wall coloring and, the whole 9 yards. This one I'm kind of winging it. It's French country feel that I'm going for, and that's not a style I've ever worked in before. And I like that rusticness about it, but still confusing me. I also have never done egg carton tiles or rocks or that kind of thing, so I wanted to try that. And, well, you'll see. It's a pretty good mishmash. And we'll see what it turns out to be in the end. Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and a very happy and blessed new year to you all. See you soon. Hi, everyone. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about making fake stone. I've completed this one as far as creating the pieces and setting them, but I will show you how we do that in a minute. Just wanted you to see what we're going to be doing. So what we'll do is we'll show you how to make the stone, set the stone, and then seal the stone before you get ready to paint it, which we will not be doing today because I won't quite be ready for that. But we will make them, set them, and seal them. So let's get started with that. First thing is the material you use. Well, I use egg carton. It's a pressed paper fiber. So the other thing you have to watch out for when you're working with this is that it will separate when you're setting it. You can see some of these are a little fuzzy on the ends. That's because it is pressed. So when you start making it moist or when you're setting it in the glue and you're poking at it with your toothpick or whatever it is you use to set them, you'll see that the corners will lift and stuff like that. So you have to be really careful. But I think it is a nice look overall once it's finished, and it definitely looks like stone. And it will look even more so once we paint it. So it's just egg carton, and all you do is you take pieces and tear them in any shape you want if you're doing stone. If you want to do it more in a square-shaped stone, then you would just cut it. So you could use an X-Acto blade for that and just cut pieces of stone, so square. But see, that's what I'm talking about. It does definitely shred. So maybe we'll try a scissor. That might work a little bit better with this. So just, and the ends, when you set it, will not be as perfect. So once you set it in the glue, you can manipulate the ends with the glue by pushing it and stuff to make them a little more rounded or a little rough and ready. But that would be how you would make your square stones. And for the irregular shaped stones, you just tear. You tear in whatever shape you want. And it's good to have a lot of different shapes because you'll want to fit them together. Now that I did this, I probably could have put them a little bit closer, but I think once we paint them and put the grout in, I think it'll look just fine. So that's how you make your stone. And then to set them, I use wood glue. You can use any type of wood glue. This is Type Bond. I have Elmer's. I have Gorilla wood glue. And you just put your coat of glue on there. All right, don't judge me, but I just use my finger to spread it. It's the easiest thing to do. Of course, I have to get it off the tabs there, though, because that's where it's going to go into the wall. All right, so there, just... Okay, so just make sure that whatever area you don't want glued, you wipe it off. And then it's pretty simple. You just pick up your pieces and you lay them down. So that I'll put right there. Again, make sure you're keeping it off of wherever you don't want it. Set that one in there. And before I start playing with it, I just let them sit for a minute so that they will set up and not move quite as much when I'm ready to. Now this I'll put on the edge a little bit, and then we'll just cut that later. But for now, we're just going to leave it sitting there. This piece will make a little bit smaller. Again, whatever is sticking out when I come back later, I will cut it. Right now, your only thing is just getting it. This one we might want to make it look a little bit longer. So we'll put that there. I've got all kinds of pieces cut so I can play with it a little bit. Put that one a little bit closer. They set up pretty quickly, as you can see, so. That one will fit in nicely right there. Let's get a little more glue over here. Okay. Maybe something a little skinnier right there. I have all kinds of pieces over here, so we'll put this right there. Remember, I'm going to be cutting off all the edges that are sticking out. It's a narrow area, so that will push back. And it's on the side, so I'm not really worried about how perfect they're set, because you won't see it as much, but I still want it to look nice. There's a piece will be, oops, sorry. Hold that there, this way it doesn't move, and then we'll manipulate the edges a little bit to make them more defined. Okay, you can fix that a little better too afterwards. I don't want it too far in there. Okay, let's see what else we have. That one can go right in there. It's fun, you get to put together puzzle pieces basically. And now I think we need one just like that. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. So it's as easy as that. You just lay the glue, put your pieces on top, and then as it starts drying, just manipulate each piece to a better shape
This is where you got to be careful though, because where it starts, the fiber starts separating. So all in all, I like that. Maybe just get a little more definition in there. And now that will dry overnight. Put this under here just so it doesn't lay flat on those edges. Now, once you've done that and you've set them and the glue has dried, you're going to want to seal the stone, because if you don't, when you go to paint it, it's going to get wet and it's going to shred and lift. So all you do is you can use Mod Podge, but I use just Elmer's school glue, white glue. Doesn't have to be Elmer's, it can be any brand. And you mix it with a little bit of water, as I've done here. Just make it a little bit thinner. And then you use a paintbrush. You know, get a junky one. This way you're not, a junky paintbrush. This way you're not ruining any of your good paintbrushes. And all you do is you just paint it on the stone. And you'll see it quickly gets absorbed. But what that will do is it will seal the fiber so that when you do paint, it will not shred the fiber and lift it. Very simple. Just enough to make each one a little damp, because it will soak in, and just pull everything together. Maybe what I'll do, instead of publishing this video first, I will wait till this dries. We'll paint tomorrow, and then we can get it all done in one sweep. This way it's not, you're not waiting for the next step. Probably should have thought of that before and had it done. But best laid plans. Just I do it as I'm working, so. Again, we're just lightly brushing over each stone just to seal it. And the good thing about the Elmer's and the Mod Podge too is, even though I'm using a junky brush, I can reuse it because it's water soluble. So you just clean it in the water and you won't have to worry about wasting a brush every time you need to do this. You can use it over and over and over again. Oh my, I'm wondering why that's making that noise. So there you go. Just paint over each piece lightly and seal it. Wow, I made just enough to do this too. That's good. All right. There you go. All sealed. And tomorrow that will be ready to paint. Okay, so I'm working on this chimney now. This is the one that goes downstairs in the grand room, the big room, the living room, the main room. And as I was doing on this and overlapping so that I can cut it, I did not do that when I created this front piece. I made sure that every piece just stuck, so it's always a full stone. But on this one, I am overlapping on the front. Make it look a little more rustic, I guess, maybe a little more natural. But this way, not every single stone is exact. Just give it a little bit of a different dimension, I guess. And again, all we did was we covered the wood in the wood glue. And we're just adding each stone to set it the way we like the look of it. Remember, you want them random. You don't want everything in the same direction. You don't want everything in the same shape. These stones are a little large, I think, for this scale, but I like the way they look, so I'm going with it. And if I don't like it in the end, then I guess I can just take everything off and try over. But I think we'll be okay. I think I'll be happy with the look. I think it'll make it look fine. I don't think it'll be a problem. Some of them are a little odd shaped, but that's all right. It's supposed to look natural. All as close to natural as possible. I was going to go with these stones, which are little tiny real stone, but I'm using the larger version of these on the front of the house, which probably would have made sense, right? I should have gone with the real stone, shouldn't I have? I may be pulling all this off. We'll see. Although I don't want everything in the house. Like I'd rather the inside have its own identity over the outside. So, and when I was looking through pictures of French country cottages and houses, they use a lot of this type of stone on the inside. So I think we'll be okay. If I don't like it, again, I can always take it off and change it, but I think I'm gonna like it. It's crazy how you start a project and you think, oh, yep, this is exactly what I want to do. And then you start putting it together and you're like, well, maybe I should have done this, that, or the other thing. But it's okay. On the next house, you can do the real stone if you want to use stone. Right now, I think this looks pretty good. So, and also, it's beige, and I don't want beige stone. I think I'm going to go more with a gray stone inside. I think. Nope, I think we're changing it. All right, call me crazy because this is making me crazy right now. But I decided as I'm sitting there talking to you guys that I really want to do the little pebble stones. So at the very least, definitely downstairs. Maybe upstairs will be different. We'll see how difficult it is to get off. But as you can see, this sets up really fast. So trying to get it off when it's dry, as in the other piece, is going to be an issue, I think. We're going to be doing some sanding. But, yeah, now that I was talking and discussing, I definitely want to do the smaller stone, which is the real stone, which is just a smaller version of the stone I put on the outside of the house. All came in the same bag, but I separated it for the bigger stones on the foundation, which I'll take a picture of that and inset it for you, and use the smaller stones on the front where I have the bay window. And that's what we were left as I was separating the stone to get the larger stones for the foundation. We were left with these smaller stones, which I think will be much better here and more uniform. This way I'm not doing 40 different finishes everywhere. And my walls are beige, so why would I want to be painting the stone gray and having that whole mishmash? So yeah, this will be better. And plus, they're not just beige. They have red in them. They have orange in them. Here's one even that's a darker color. So as you can see, there's all different shades. Whites, beiges, ivories, orange, red, black. I think this will look a heck of a lot better. And this isn't so bad that I have to really worry. All we do, again, we start this the same way as you lay the glue. This time, though, you do it a little bit thicker, just so the stones don't roll around on it. And you can definitely manipulate them better than the egg carton stones that end up sticking much quicker than I thought they would. But hey, live and learn, right? Now I know that about them. Let's get that off there. I really don't want glue on my... Okay. All right, maybe even just a little bit more in there. Okay, that should be good. Interesting how we change our minds. But I think this will look so much better. I'll do another tutorial with the egg carton stones so that we can, and this is much easier too. Now you just kind of plop them on, and then you can manipulate it the way you want. That just looks much better, doesn't it? Oh yeah, that looks so much better. So here, this is the stone that I was thinking of doing, and then this. And I don't know, I just think this looks much better right now. Even though this isn't finished, but we'll leave this like this for now, and then we'll determine later whether or not, because that goes upstairs, and we're not anywhere near getting to the upstairs yet. So let's just, the scale of these are beautiful for this. And where did I get these stones? I got these stones at an arts and crafts store, and they're usually in the aisle where you get the shells or the glass bead, you know, the glass stones for the candles. And they have all different types, colors. I have a really pretty set of them in green shades, but I'm not doing green on this house, so that's why this one just works a whole lot better. All right, again, a little bit thicker because the stone is not flat, so you want it to go up on the stone, you know, up around a little. You want the stone to be able to sit in it. And as you can see, you can just dump off what doesn't set. The nice thing about this, too, versus doing the foundation, when I did the foundation, you have to literally place each stone just by virtue of how that's put together. But this is good. This works pretty good. Yeah. And we will be grouting this as well, so this is not finished either. So before you think that's it, nope, we will be grouting this as well. My dog's trying to make a bed on the carpet. She always does that. She's silly. Take that off there, but the glue holds really well. I'm really happy with how the wood glue works. These will push in a little bit more because there's a little space there. Tuck a couple more in there. Put these over here. Again, tuck them in there. Oh, I really like this much better. Okay, I'm glad I decided to make that change. I would have been thinking about it nonstop. Yeah, and definitely, you know, like I was thinking, it just definitely makes it more aesthetically pleasing with the rest of the house because I have the stone, you know, this type of stone for the foundation. I have this type of stone for the exterior of the bay windows. And to start mixing that all up, it would look too mishmashy. I'll do another house with the other type of stone. Actually, that bungalow I have, we could do that stone in that one. That would be perfect. I can make it like a woodsy bungalow. I know a lot of people were doing a beach themed bungalow with it, but I think a nice woodsy cabiny bungalow would be pretty too. All right, so we're setting all that in there. And I used to belong to a miniatures club years ago. We used to make miniatures and share them. So, like, say there were a dozen people in the club. We'd each make a dozen of whatever we were making, keep one ourselves, and then send the rest of them to the other ladies or gentlemen or whoever was in the club. And we'd each get one of theirs back. So you ended up with 12 adorable minis. I'll have to share that with you one day because we got such great stuff. One week it was a cabin theme. And this one member of the group made these little fishing poles using toothpicks. Oh my gosh, they were just incredible. I got it and I was like, are you kidding me? This is great. It's the imagination you ladies and gentlemen have. It kills me. It's just amazing. I love it. And it's so encouraging too because it gives you a lot of ideas and definitely stimulates your creative thinking. But yeah, I'll definitely have to share that with you. And it was a great group. The leader of the group, we would send all of our goodies to her. And each month we would send it with $10. And the $10 would pay for the postage so that she could send it out to each of the other people in the group. And boy, you always looked forward to getting those packages because I'm telling you, just amazing things. One lady made a tray of chocolate chip cookies for baking, and she put them on the tray, and these little tiny chocolate chip cookies. And I was just like, this stuff is great. And I always like, boy, I wish I could do as well as they were doing, even though some of them, well, most everybody, you know, they loved, obviously, all of the stuff. But you always think that you could have done better. And I always did, too, especially when I got the packages, because and that's also when I was pretty new to minis. So I did not have the imagination that a lot of these ladies said. There you go, not even dumping off. But there, that looks so much better, doesn't it? What do you think? Yeah, I just want to get this one piece here that's... Okay, now that's better. It's down there now. All right. Yeah, I think I like that better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this. But I definitely like this better. Although the only thing, you know what this may be good for? But I don't think I'll be doing them random size. I think I'll be doing them more of a square, rectangular shape. Because as you can see in some of my inspiration stuff, the stones, if you can see that, they're more rectangular shaped. They're not quite so oddly shaped or round. And then too, there's a floor here, which is what I was thinking to do for this house. Where's the floor? Ah, the kitchen floor. You see, they're all different shaped, rectangular. So that's the shape I think I'm going to do in the kitchen. I like that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, so for the fireplaces, we're going to do the stones. And then we'll do the rectangular shaped pieces for the kitchen. But this, very nice. I really like the way that looks. So now I have to get to work taking all that off, which is going to be fun. Okay, stay tuned for the next step. Bye, everyone. See you soon. Okay, so as you can see, I could not get all of this off, but I was able to peel it enough so that it's smooth, and then I just used some sandpaper to take off as much of the fiber as I could. But once it's on there, it's pretty on there. And although this would definitely work even as smooth and flat as it is, that would definitely work as a finished piece, because still, you still feel the fiber. You could still seal it and paint it. So I think I stumbled upon a happy accident. I like it, believe it or not, flat like that. But again, you know, the stones are going to cover everything. So all you have to do is lay your glue, lay your stones, and you'll see, as you see there, you'll never know that there was a mistake under there. Just put more glue, push it up in there. You know, just by virtue of how you have to lay these stones with the thicker glue, it really doesn't matter that I made the mistake underneath, because you can't see it, or that I couldn't, you know, get them completely off. Let me tell you, that wood glue does the job. So once you put something down with that wood glue, it's not going anywhere, which is good to know, because you don't want your projects to go anywhere once you've set them up and glued them and put all that hard work into them. It's good to know that it's going to stay just the way you laid it. And when you put together a dollhouse, I use the wood glue to put it together, obviously. I'm sure a lot of you do. But it's good to know that once that dollhouse is glued together, it too is staying and not going to be falling apart on you. So again, just dump them in there. Let them fall where they may. And it's nice because it's going to make its own natural pattern anyway. It's not like you're manipulating it manually. It's just, they're just falling where they may. And I really, really like the way this looks. So much better. For this project, at least, than the stone. But I love stone. So, like I said, in that bungalow, I am pretty certain there will be some stone going on in that bungalow. And again, in the kitchen, in this house, I'll be doing stone floor. I was trying to work with, I think I showed you on the last video, I was working with the polymer clay to try and make stone tiles. So if I don't do the egg carton stone for the floor, I'll definitely be doing the polymer clay and laying those as tile. Okay, let's just get all that covered. Tuck it all in there. Again, nice thick layer. I don't want these stones coming up. Just plop them on and let them fall where they may. He's stuck there, so we'll leave it for now. Manipulate it just enough to fill in the gaps so you have nice coverage. You see, you get those little tiny pieces in there. The nice thing about this with the wood glue too, the wood glue will shrink back as it dries, but not so much so that, again, the stones lose their grip. But it's also good because then you don't have to use as much grout and the after everything dries and you're grouting it, you don't have to use quite so much grout to hold everything in because it's the glue actually holding it in. The grout's more for the aesthetic purposes of making it look authentic. Push all there. See, a nice little black one fell in there. But this is nice because although everything's going to be beige, with all these different colors in here, you can definitely play off of those when you're decorating your house. I mean, gray, orange, ivory, red, black, brown, white. Just a beautiful combination of colors. Just so relaxing. Which was a big part of the French country cottage, or any cottage look in particular. You want it to be relaxing and soothing, and this definitely invokes that. All right, I think we can get to the ends with this. Just fill the rest of this in. I'm watching the Great British Bake Off as I do this, and every time I want to do the video, I put it on pause. I have to catch up in between takes. Do you guys watch or have something else going while you're music or TV or whatever? I can't even if I'm sitting and watching TV, I can't just sit and watch TV. I have to have something in my hands, crochet, some kind of project in my hands, so that I'm not just sitting there. I don't sit very well. I have to be busy all the time. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I'm just not a sit and watch TV person. I find that really boring. Okay, this can get another piece in there, I think. Maybe we can find some little teeny pieces to try and fill in a couple of those little areas right there. Although that looks good, right? Yeah, I think that's done for now. I will finish up the sides off camera, and then we'll get back to the camera when we're ready to grout. All right, I hope you guys like that. I think that looks really good. I'm very happy with that, and tomorrow we'll be on to grouting. Bye again.